back to News Geelong. Enjoyed riding the waves with 5 emotional-filled, new and exciting diverse short plays, all with the theme of the sea. Meryl Friend reports.
Brown Fairthorn Productions' latest offering is called Making Waves, and it's 5 short plays that will start down at Lawn in November and run up till the 10th of December here at the Woodbine Theatre. There's lots of local actors involved, and of course it's written by 2 local playwrights, and Cherie Mills was our director. We were able to speak with her.
Oh, it's going brilliantly. We've got 5 beautiful scripts which all have the through line about the ocean, and we've got 4 actors playing multiple roles, and they're all doing brilliantly. They all have a lot of experience as actors, and the scripts by Sandy Fairthorn and Janet Brown are wonderful, very deep. I've been calling them pieces with heart, because there's just so many elements. There's humour and there's just beautiful emotional moments in it. So I think it's going to really appeal to a wide audience.
And it's not just at the Woodbine this time. It's starting off down in Lawn, and it's going to many different venues as well for people over the next few weeks.
It sure is. We start on the 26th of November, very soon, in Lawn. We go to Port Arlington, Queenscliff Hall, the Winter Garden upstairs in the gallery section, and we end off at the Woodbine Theatre on the 10th of December. So we're running around with our set and the actors and the musicians, which you see behind me. We're actually going to have a choir for a couple of the performances as well. But if you go to Brown Fairthorn Theatre Projects on Facebook, all of the dates and the times and all of the information you'll need for booking is all there.
From the Woodbine Theatre, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl, for making waves. The topic of a directly elected mayor in the city of Greater Geelong in 2012 is continuing to raise many unanswered questions throughout our community. With a government-based decision soon to be addressed through legislation, News Geelong sought to find out more as we speak with current COGG Mayor, Councillor John Mitchell.
Mr Mayor, the directly elected mayor subject is in the news. What do we know of the process at this particular stage?
Look, we don't know a great deal about the process, Graham, to tell you the honest truth, but from my point of view, it will be legislation by the end of next week. As far as I'm concerned, you get on with business. Some of the things that are being talked about are that the mayor can elect councillors to be chairs of committees and things like that. And, it'll be a little different, but if, the reality to it all is it's got to be, it can't be any great deal different than what it already is.
Our current council will still maintain its ward identity. Will the new mayor have a separate ward, or will he be in total City of Greater Geelong?
No, I think in total City of Greater Geelong, Graham, one of the things that you have to decide on, if you stand for the mayor, you can't stand for a ward. So you're either the mayor or a ward councillor. So it would mean, say for instance, if I stood for mayor and wanted to stand for the Austin ward, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to make a decision one way or the other. So that's one of the changes. But the other, it looks like the wards, the 12 wards, will still be in place. I would imagine portfolios would still be in place, but the mayor will have the ability to elect the chairs of committees.
And he would chair council meetings and have a deliberate as well as casting vote, as we believe it.
Yeah, you would imagine. I would think that, well, the mayor at the moment has a casting vote. Under the system of 13, you wouldn't need a casting vote unless someone was away. So I'd imagine that he would vote and have a casting vote. But all of this, Graham, to be quite truthful, is something that we're not really right across because it hasn't been released and it's not in legislation yet. But, the bottom line is, mate, I've always said, the rules are the rules, and if they change the rules, you work within them. So, it's not the end of the world. Sun will come up in the morning and who knows who's going to stand. So, who knows.
Thank you, John. The CFA is beginning another summer of fire prevention with a call to all members of the community to be very aware of its responsibilities and actions, as Meryl Friend reports.
The summer season is looming, of course lots of wonderful times ahead, but also a time to be aware of fire danger and the situation that happens over our summer season. We're able to talk with Operations Manager at District 7, Jerry Van Doren.
This year has got the hallmarks of potentially being a really big grass fire season. We've gone through our 10 or 11 years of drought where the bushfire has been the more prevalent risk. This year the bush is the main heavy heavy part of the bush is quite wet and not as great a risk. The outskirts of the bush in what we call the Eastern Otway, so basically from Lorne through towards Torquay Way, that dries out rather quickly, but we believe the grass fire risk is a bigger potential for this year.
So the area that you're looking at is quite broad. Where is your district?
District 7 basically covers from Little River coming into Geelong from the Melbourne side, across to Dereel in the bushland area there, across to the grasslands of Rokewood, and around almost to Cressy and virtually in a line down just to the west of Deans Marsh through to the west of Lorne. So we have all the Surf Coast, all the Ballerine Peninsula and City of Geelong. The rural environment people are probably the key one this year, given the state of the grasslands, and the sort of stuff that they need to do is really clean up around their home. And by cleaning up, what we need is the grass, instead of being a metre high, needs to be probably about 100 millimetres high, so it's like 4 to 6 inches high. If you reduce the length of the grass, then you reduce the length of the flame height. So keep that clear right around your property and your assets. So it doesn't have to be your home alone, because these people in a rural environment, they have significant assets tied up in their sheds, in their machinery and equipment. It might be hay, it may be stock. There are some people there that got some great studs, whether it be sheep, cattle and even horses. So they need to make things safe for their animals as well as their machinery and their own properties as well, their homes.
And what about people in the city?
People in the city shouldn't be complacent, because the city people tend to go to the country for holidays and for travel. So on the day, well, before that, in your own property, if you're close to that interface environment, clean up around your home the same way. Reduce your grass, clean up don't have shrubs up against the house and all that sort of thing. And then if you're going to have a day in the country, get onto the Weather Bureau website, get onto the CFA website, see what the conditions are like before you go, so that if you do get caught in a fire, you know what road you're on, you know where you go. So plan your trip, but include fire as part of your planning process.
From North Geelong, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. This is News Geelong as we go to a break and return with sport and weather after this.